a brand new event, a brand new update, and a couple of cute looking dragons are on their way. So of course we have the final update of this year, which has just been released on, I believe, all platforms now. And in this update we've got new events coming. This new CRAZE event is coming on the 14th of December, so Monday the 14th. And as of today, we do have a new update with major sigil changes, so we will be going through this, but it also brings one of the things I am most excited about, which is the 4x speed button. So when we first open the game, it says sigil changes, 4x battle speed, a new sigil campaign reward doubler, and damage bonuses from sigils have been introduced to the game, so you can have faster battles and extra loot. And the new event, CRAZE. Complete quests, earn ingredients, and cook the most delicious cakes imaginable. Try out this fun new solo event and become the best cake thief in Dragonlandia. So, from that was a very quick introduction to what is probably going to be a big set of changes in this game now. Essentially, with sigils, they always used to give a HP bonus. But now, if you go into your sigils menu and you look at all your sigils, like say, let's look at Wonder, it will say all positive effects cast by this dragon are 216% stronger. And then underneath that, it will say plus 195% HP because this is a rare, and plus 65% damage. So now every single sigil in the game has been given both a HP and a damage bonus. Of course, some sigils have higher damage bonuses than others now. Evasion has a particularly strong one. You'll see that a rare evasion gives plus 195% HP and plus 100% damage, whereas a rare purity only gives plus 10% damage on top of what it used to be. So a lot of people have been trying out new sigil combinations, and now as a result of the changes, it's looking like it's actually a better idea to have your blessed dragon not be your super defensive dragon, but we'll have to play around with that in a little bit. But very quickly before that, of course we got that 4x speed button, so let's quickly just do Malice Striker, because some people just fight Malice Striker over and over again to see, you know, how quickly they can get their fights done every day and generate gold. So 1x speed is obviously super slow now. We've got 2x speed and 4x speed. So 1x speed, you'll see that the dragons basically look like they're in slow motion. 2x speed, they sort of look a little bit hyperactive. And then at 4x speed, everyone is on speed. All the attacks come out in about half a second. It all looks ridiculous. And you'll see that that fight went by very quickly. Essentially, now that we've got this 4x speed button, it's more of a question of how quickly can you click, which for me, being on PC, luckily, is very fast. I imagine this is going to be tougher if you're on mobile, but it's also super easy if you just don't do perfect hits. But I imagine that having the fights this quick is probably also going to leave a lot of people open to making lots of misclick errors. So do be aware of that if you're playing in 4x speed, that you do need to look at the sigils that your opponents are using, especially now that they've been changed. So yeah, don't forget to do that. But these fights are very fast, and of course the main campaign is not the only place where this takes effect. So if we go into the enchantment battles here, well, it says right now that they're closed, but you're not gonna let me in at all? They're just completely broken? Okay, never mind then. But the enchantment battles, it's basically just gotta go boom, 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 boom after every single one, which is something that I have wanted for a long time. But anyway, that is the 4x speed button. On top of that, of course, we have new dragons that have been added into the codex. And of these dragons, we do have the new anniversary collection dragons. So if we're taking a look at the other two legendaries, if the game doesn't break, thank you, we have the Ranger dragon, which looks quite similar to the Thief dragon. But he is a legendary metal and void dragon, which maybe some people want. And then the other legendary that we have as part of this collection is the Bounty Hunter dragon, which is, I actually really like this dragon. I like his colours, I like his little hat that he's got on. And I like the theme. I like the bounty hunter theme. So another legendary I actually quite want. And then finally, which you'll notice is different to the other collections. Normally you get 3 dragons and then you'll get an epic. So, you know, this year we've gotten Cinema, Grand Prize, and Slime. However, as part of the Adventurers of Winter collection, if you get all 3 of these dragons, so that's going to be Druid and those 2 other new dragons, Ranger and the pretty looking bounty hunter, when you get all 3 of those, you unlock Challenger. And so this obviously looks like a jouster dragon thing. All I know is that he has a miniature man on his back, and I love it. Just like how I love Bamboo with that little panda that sits on his back. But we have the Challenger here, and I love it. I really do love it. I love how ridiculous it looks. I love how ridiculous this egg is, who just has a joust next to it. It's like he hasn't even been born yet, and they've already forced him into the whole get-up. They've given him the actual joust, and then they give him a little knight to sort of help him along. And he is a legendary metal and fire dragon. So then, after we get Challenger, then we will get the final main reward dragon, which we're not 100% on what that is right now. Could be a divine, could be a legendary, technically could be an ancient. So I am looking forward to finding out which dragon that is. So those are some of the new dragons, but as mentioned before, we do also have Christmas themed dragons that are coming, and we've got this stocking dragon who's going to be coming as part of the Christmas themed events. He looks very warm and very fluffy. And then we do have that cake craze event, and for anyone that's unsure about what cake craze is going to be, it is essentially the existing quest recipe event that we do in clan events, but in a solo event. And they have been asking, all players have been asking questions, and some of them have been answered in the forum thread for this, so we'll go through this now. So, later today we'll be releasing the latest DML update, which is the one that I just showed. Alongside this new update will be the new Cake Craze event, the first of which will begin next Monday. For regular clan members, the concept will be familiar since we brought the same recipe crafting cake baking event over to a single player space that will add a bit of extra variety to our schedule of solo play events. So rather than us just getting Boss Challenge, Dragon's Delight, solo, now we've also got clan event solo, basically. So, what will you be doing in Cake Craze? In this event, you'll collect ingredients of various rarities by completing quests, and with those ingredients, you'll be able to bake and produce cakes to earn points. There are 12 ingredients in total, with 3 of each rarity: uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary, which are collected in various quantities by completing any of the multiple quests available. These recipes are, or 3 recipes are available, and are also associated with a rarity, with 1 of each matching ingredient needed to start cooking a cake. The rarity of the recipe affects the points it's worth, with the ultimate goal of the event being to score points and progress through milestones to collect rewards and unlock the final reward. The first Cake Craze event will begin on Monday the 14th of December at 12 PM, and the brand new Stocking Dragon will be the main prize. So, this boy right here. So then, further on, people ask some questions. So, won't the milestones be revealed? What is the cook time of each recipe? What is the maximum recipes you can do? Are the number of tests you can do per day limited? And will Cake Craze events last 10 days just like castle events? And so the responses from Adam were, nope, I don't reveal individual milestone rewards. The main prize dragon is the important one, and I can and will reveal. It's 6 hours for each quest and recipe completed, but if you trash a quest or recipe, then it will only have a 10-minute cooldown. This may or may not change in the future. And number 3, what is the maximum recipes? There is no limit, though there's no reason to keep scoring once the main rewards have been won. And then other number of tests you can do per day limited. Nope, if you want to spend gems to speed up the baking times, then of course you can do that as many times as you like. And the first one will be 7 days long and will most likely be this way, but since the rewards are earned on a scoring or milestone system, there's nothing to say we couldn't adjust the required scores for each milestone and have longer or shorter events. So, it is legitimately just the clan event, but in a single player sort of environment. And that does make me a little bit worried, because even though we do have the ability to refresh these like we do for Dragon's Delight, And even though it's got a 10-minute timer, can you imagine if you just sat here and you got really unlucky and you just kept getting recipes that you didn't want over and over and over again? Unless there's something in the game to make it that every, I don't know, 10 recipes you are guaranteed a legendary, this could be a really frustrating event. I just don't like how many layers of RNG we have in everything. And another one that I don't like about this is that one of the quests is Explore a Ruin, which is another 6-hour timer, along with the recipes being 6-hour timers, which means we're stuck with 6-hour timers again when we've just had 28 days of 6-hour timers. So I'm getting really sick of 6-hour timers. And not just that, we've also got send gifts to your friends 3 times, which means that anyone that is used to just getting up in the morning and gifting, you need to be careful not to do that during this event, because obviously this is going to end up being one of the quests that gives you, you know, a quest to actually get recipe ingredients, so you need to not do that. But I already don't like the look of having to do send gifts to your friends 3 times for 10 days straight, or 7 days straight, however long it is, and explore a ruin for 7 days straight, because even though it's all working on 6-hour timers, it's just so tedious setting up the ruins, and then all of that extra stuff all on 6-hour timers. It's like we've already got the dungeon on 6-hour timers, and then at the same time got 2-hour timers on the boss challenge. Can we just do without these timers? And plus they said that you can score as many points as you could possibly want if you gem it. But it's going to depend on how it's balanced as to, you know, how enjoyable it actually is. So, those are all of the major things to note about this new update. I guess we will go into the dungeon if the Enchantment League isn't actually open at the moment. And I guess for our first battle, we'll go in here with our pre-existing team. So the one that I always used to use for the dungeon, which honestly, because I don't have a metal dragon at max level yet, I honestly, just for the sake of having AoE, I end up taking these 3 in a lot of the time. And people have been reporting that the Bless isn't giving as much HP as it used to, and I'm not sure exactly if that's 100% true, but some of the icons you'll also notice are different. And at the same time, when we're going into the dungeon here, and we actually defeat opponents, you'll see that there are bonus dungeon tokens that we're actually earning. So that is another extra thing that we never used to do before, how we earn extra, you know, dungeon currency stuff just for doing the dungeon. And plus we do have the bonus multiplier, which is going to be another thing that we're going to have to decide whether we want to have to buy it or not. Because we've got a Dragon Master Pass, we're going to have the Sigil multiplier, but at the same time, when you get to really, really high KO counts in the dungeon, so when you stop caring about the tasks as much and you just keep going on like 30-minute plus rounds in the dungeon, which is much easier with metal ancients and things like that. But when you get to that point, you're gonna find that 4 times speed is going to be a lifesaver, because at the moment, again, it's basically you do an attack, you don't even have to wait that long, and then you're doing another one. If you compare 4 times speed to 1 times speed, the game just feels completely different. I don't know how we ever used to play DML at 1 times speed. Like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing how slow all of this is? I do genuinely feel like the game has slowed down by like 900%. And in reality, this is how slow DML used to be. And it makes me feel physically ill. 2 times speed is, you know, okay, but 4 times speed is definitely where the cool kids are at. So I will be using this probably forever until I die now, or the game dies, whichever comes first. But, you know, that is going to be the new speed to get used to. So Wonder Acceptance is still a really good combo at the moment, but some of the other sigils that you're really going to have to look out for in this new update are going to be sigils like Evasion, which, just because of the pure damage boost that they've been given, is actually quite scary. A lot of people have been seeing that Turtle also seems to have been given a decent buff, but compared to Evasion, I don't think it's really going to stand out as much. But Chi also got a huge damage buff. And considering that some people use Chi in the dungeon anyway, Chi might actually start getting used in dungeon stuff. I'm not sure if it's going to end up being used in regular battles, but definitely in long battles this is going to be a sigil that people might recommend or start possibly using. And now there are people that were using the Purity combo, which before the update was obviously really not that bad. Because it was still the highest damage comp, and I still believe that Purity and, say, Daredevil are still the highest damage composition of sigils out there. But the problem is, because they've only gotten a small damage boost, while, you know, Evasion's got a plus 100%, even though Evasion is obviously not going to do as much damage, it just means that now Evasion is a lot more consistent overall. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly how these sigils are gonna play out. There's not really a good place to test them apart from, guess, maybe the arena. But, for instance, we've got an enemy here that's got 4 epic sigils. So I'm gonna go into this fight right now with the team that I normally take into this. And I guess we'll see how it goes. I'm lucky in the sense that at one point I was going to swap off my evasion from Nezha, but I actually decided against it. And I don't know why we always see the ancient symbol now. I guess it's just to remind us that these are ancient dragons, so they have no weakness. I don't know, weird. But I used to have, or I still have evasion on Nezha. And back in the day, people were like, you should swap it to Wonder Acceptance on Nezha, because even though it seems ridiculous to have both Wonder and Acceptance on the same dragon, Wonder just gives so much bonus HP that it was actually a really good idea. But now with Evasion being so good in terms of both the damage and the actual defensive capabilities it gives, I don't actually think Evasion is as meme as it used to be. You'll also notice that with the damage that I'm outputting from my my Lantern Dragon here, that I seem to be pretty much two-shotting any dragon that I come across. And that is because the base HP bonuses that have been given out have changed. And now things are getting two-shot again. Because if you remember a time sort of at the beginning of Sigils with the HP bonuses, it was taking like 20 turns sometimes just to take out a team of dragons. But now with Wonder Acceptance, I can basically two-shot any dragon in the game. If not one shot. So things are very different now. And I don't know why it just gave us... Why are you giving me only easy fights? Look at this. Level 100... Level 100 full team. Level 4... Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, Ludmilla. Level 12. I'm so sorry, but the game has suggested... Go, hit me. Hit me with your best shot. Oh, that feels bad. Those dragons are actually dead now. Rest in peace. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's only giving me easy fights here. Maybe it's because people haven't updated to the new update. But very weird. I guess this is an easy way to get some arena streaks going. No, I'm not saying that. Don't take advantage of this. I was just doing fights anyway. I did actually want to see here we go, we're getting level 30. So if we can keep attacking and beating opponents, maybe it will give us some higher levels now. But yeah, essentially you'll notice that you're probably going to be doing more damage to enemies than you used to. Because, you know, even though I probably explained it weirdly, we're getting the extra damage bonuses now. That's why the HP is going down. As in, it's not literally down, but now because of all the damage bonuses, things are taking a hell of a lot more damage. So, it should be... Stop with these level 4 teams, please. I actually wanted to fight people of my equal level. I was trying to make a point about new sigils, but... You know, Wonder Acceptance is probably still going to be insanely good, but you have to be aware that now that things are doing more damage, you may actually just get one shot by not Purity and Daredevil combos. So that's why Purity, Daredevil, Now, if you don't need it to one-shot or two-shot, it's not really worth the trade-off of the HP. Or like, Daredevil pulls your HP down, but Purity also keeps higher damage if your HP is higher. And it's not worth those trade-offs if you can just go Wonder Acceptance Evasion, or yeah, Wonder Acceptance Evasion, or Wonder Acceptance, I don't know, Witchcraft or Havoc, and just one-shot everything that you come across anyway. And that's against teams of dragons that had epic sigils in a couple of cases. It was like 2 shots max. So it's gonna be strange getting back into all of this. I don't really know what my thoughts are on it so far, but I don't think it's going to fix the meta from being stuck on specific sigils. In fact, I think it's only made Wonder Acceptance better, and I think it's just put Purity sort of out of its place now. I still have it on a couple of my dragons because I haven't swapped it, and it's not really worth all the changing of the sigil trinkets, but if they did make it free to swap your sigils around on your team, I would be more than willing to test out new things, do battles with different combos, but it's not really possible while we have a cap or a cost on things. But I am going to be very tempted to swap everything to having acceptance and something rather than Daredevil now. Ooh, it's going to be fun. Once again, testing all of this out, but Wonder Acceptance is still good. So keep that in mind, and we'll keep testing in the meantime. Maybe we'll be completely wrong, and in a month's time we actually work out that Turtle is the god tier sigil. It's not looking like that right now. But also remember that we're going to be having a new sigil campaign, I believe also on the 14th. So we're going to have new event, we're going to have new sigil campaign, test out new sigils, and I'm sure we're going to have some more stuff coming. Apparently there's more pieces of soft coming, but at this point I don't even care for that topic. But that is DML for today, so I'm here to keep you up to speed for now. I do hope that, you know, the sigil change isn't completely disastrous, but I do hope it gets you some more wins in the dungeon, or at least helps out some of the teams that don't have metal dragons to use as part of the dungeon runs, because if you don't have a metal dragon when you're going through dungeon, it can feel kind of sucky, because metal is insanely good in the dungeon. It can allow you with a water dragon and an earth dragon, say, or an ancient. It can let you go on runs that last over an hour. So, I still remember the days. Ooh, 15 gems, that's tempting. I'm actually just going to take it for the sake. I still remember back in the day when metal dragons, everyone was like, psh, metal, I guess, but eh. It's the era of 3 defensive dragons, no joke, no joke. With these sigil attack bonuses that we're getting on all these sigils, genuinely, it's looking like 3 defensive dragons are actually the new meta. 3 defensive dragons that actually do as much damage as the aggressive ones, but they have like 2 trillion more health. Bless this game trying to balance itself. But anyway, I appreciate you being here. We've got 2 cannon that to hatch soon. I'll do that at some point, but for now, keep logging in for boss challenge. Try out the new update. I hope you like some of the new stuff in it, especially 4 times speed. And until next time, my friend, I hope to see you then.